taking us to a wonderful session on wisely invest in the stocks for an optimal returns. Probably we'll also talk about the core portfolio building or construction. So before that, as a routine, I will start off on giving you a small introduction, and I have a pleasant duty of also releasing none other than our Dr. Satish book I have just received. It's there with me with the ribbon and also with the cover, and I will just do it. I think people should join on the YouTube also, because I can't keep on admitting all one after another in my middle of the talk. So I'll start sharing the slides of the introduction just briefly to you all. Let me know if you can able to see the presentation. Are you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the screen? Yeah. Thank you very much. So this is as usual the Financial Intelligence for Pediatrician Series 2 by Pediatric Academy of Telangana under the President's Action Plan under the aegis of Dr. Yashwant Rao Alladi. It's a virtual webinar we are conducting from past 2 months, and I'm your coordinator, Dr. Ajay Kumar. I am also the co-convener of the Central Indian Academy of Pediatrics Finance Committee for this year and next year, a working partner of 2 private firms, Doctors Incorporation and Media Associates. This is a program, an awareness program in financial literacy for doctors and members of Indian Academy of Pediatrics and their family members and friends. We do not give any investment advice. You must do your due diligence. This is only thing. How do we teach how to fish? We don't provide fish. Take your financial advice from a SEBI registered experienced professional for a large sum of investments if you are doing, if you don't have time. And to give my credit to our faculty who has already been with us in past 2.5 years, Dr. Pavan, Dr. Harish Gopal, Dr. Tirumalai Kolondu sir, Dr. Sindura, Dr. Vipul Jain, Dr. Indra Pavan, Dr. Satish Vadapalli, Dr. Chapaswaran, and Dr. Ajay Kumar Gupta, and under the Executive Committee of the Pediatric Academy of Telangana. We have covered, and I thank these speakers who had talked about financial planning, insurance, debt funds, mutual funds, index funds, stocks, basics of stock, and wise investment today for a portfolio construction. These are the topics we have covered already, a record-breaking topics on almost each Sunday from past 2 months, 8 topics, including part 1 and part 2, 9 topics. With today's topic, we will cover. And next month, we are having 2 important topics which has been formulated by our academic in charge, Dr. Harish Gopal, who is traveling and will be returning to Hyderabad today. We have got taxation for doctors by Sri Balwan Jain sir, qualified chartered accountant, and goal planning by Dr. Harish Gopal himself. He is going to talk on retirement for youngsters called FIRE method, freedom from investment and retire early methods, and retirement for young and retirement for old, how to take home loans at a least interest and pay at your benefit, and how to set a goal for child's education. These are the topics which we are going to have. And then we have got very exciting talks on technical analysis simplified for all the youngsters. And that is going to be dealt by two experts from our group, Dr. Naresh Biani from Mumbai, and I have requested Dr. Manish Gupta from Delhi also to help us in teaching technical analysis to newbies, to youngsters, and total new people who are not even aware what is technical analysis. So, because Dunning-Kruger effect is what I don't get tired in telling all of us, that we all suffer because we have inadequate financial knowledge to even appreciate that we are doing wrong moves. Hence, we need this financial intelligence need of the hour. Why? Because it has got a sustained growth and prosperity all round for the nation, society, and individual. And single most important cause of business failures worldwide, as Mr. Anil Lamba says, is financial mismanagement, and improves productivity and satisfaction, especially mental satisfaction and intellectual satisfaction. It has got solutions to many mankind's problem, and it's a clear stumbling block for growth and prosperity. Personal finance management need of the hour, because we know that school children and we ourselves never read this topic in our graduation, but it is recommended by all the experts that the financial curriculum should be started at 7th class onwards. And we have a social belief that money is the root cause of all the evils. And we pray during Diwali to Goddess Lakshmi, but we don't know how to take care of Lakshmi in our day-to-day affairs. The low financial literacy is the major cause of only 2% of Indian population participating in the financial markets, whereas it is 55% in developed countries. And this is not a complicated subject to learn. A 7th grader can do it. It's not a rocket science. We always say that I have a chartered accountant, my friend is, my relative is a chartered accountant, I have a financial advisor. Why do I need to do? You should learn, because sometimes you may have lost opportunities and you may miss the bus of not making the corpus for your retirement. So learn to manage money. And why this is hesitancy, I have seen so many of my friends saying, I do not understand finance. It is too big and vast subject. I do not have time. I'm professionally involved in generating income and doing my work in the hospital and college and the clinic. I already have earned enough money. But you know what? The family, the property, the wealth lies unattended and unmanaged, and eventually it dissipates. And any stage of life you are, stop neglecting your finances, get up and be aware and start managing it. And take charge of your personal finances. Learn to earn. How do we learn? This is one of the ways you're participating today in the webinar. And all the best investors in the world have read books. They read at least 20 to 25 books per year, 100 pages per day. Make it a habit. You're all doctors. We are all past our post-graduations reading thousands of pages. So please read good books. We will have a seminar or a webinar on what books to start with and how to. Already our group members are posting some digital books. Go through them and join the peer groups, gain knowledge of your hard-earned money to deploy it properly, so that when you sleep, the money works for you, and have a financial goals, which Dr. Harish Gopal is going to talk to us for achieve your financial freedom. And a retirement corpus has to be built by the time you're retired, which is about 200 times of the current monthly expenses is an average recommendation. So steady professional income, how to create this wealth, how to go about wealth protection. Before we start Dr. Chapesoran's talk, steady professional income is the main source which we all do, but have a multiple or a second source of income, generate it. How do we generate? By a passive income, which by either by rents or dividends or interest or capital gains or a windfall from your sale of your lands, agricultural land, a plot or a hereditary property. Do the savings. Income minus savings should be spending, and start doing it by 10% savings per month to at least go up to 30% and beyond. Invest wisely, which we are talking about. check the safety, liquidity, and return of the investment before you invest in any instrument or any asset. Investment options are there, so many asset classes are there, but the measure what we are concentrating on financial markets and financial instruments, equity, gold, real estate, debt funds, but don't buy liabilities like fancy cars and fancy dresses and fancy vacations. Always consider risk versus return. It should beat inflation and taxes. So aim for any investment which should give you at least 15 to 20% more returns when you put it in. Most of the investors, especially I have been reading Mr. Manish Pabrai's book. He says, if you can double your investment at least by 3 to 4 years, that's a proper way of selecting a good investment. Start early, but all youngsters, be regular and be consistent. The power of compounding comes from starting early. Allocation, diversify. You will have weightage in various asset classes. You have to rebalance. There was a discussion on balancing. If a good company, a good asset class is there, you need not rebalance so frequently. Even though if the company stocks goes up and down or the value of your asset goes up and down, you can do it leisurely if you have a good conviction and it's a good company. SIP method is the method, that is systematic investment plan, is the method of averaging out and risk avoidance. And it should never be stopped. Even in pandemic, people have been doing it. I know now the statistics says many of the people have stopped doing systemic investment plan, and it's going to cost you a lot in future. So with this few words and introduction, I now have the pleasure of launching one of our faculties authored book by Dr. Satish Vadapalli, and he has written a book. He just passed last year a MBA Finance from Andhra University, and he has written a textbook, and I have the pleasure of releasing officially today in F3 and FIP group Dr. Satish Vadapalli's book. Already Dr. Soren has purchased it and he has displayed it in the past, and I request you to kindly welcome the release of this book. And this is the Monetary Management by Dr. Satish Vadapalli. Kindly give a round of applause to our youngster, Dr. Satish Vadapalli, who is our faculty and admin, and is a practitioner at Visakhapatnam. Thank you.
Congratulations, Satish.
Satish. And I request all of you to go through this book. It's just costs a very nominal price, and I just received it today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so very much.
Yes, Dr. Satish. I now introduce Dr. Chape Soren. He is well known. He is very eagerly awaited to start his program. Many of us are still joining. I have made a rule. I will not admit anybody after 30 minutes. So, but anyway, we are there in the YouTube. Unlimited participants can be there. I hand over the mic to Dr. Chape Soren. Dr. Satish, you have any comment to do about your book?
Just 2-3 keywords, sir. This is the first textbook on monetary management in the entire country. It's essentially designed for MBA finance students, but every investor, every common man can benefit from it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to support. I'll leave the link to purchase the book in the chat box.
Sure.
Please buy a copy and support it. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure. All the best.
So
Over
much,
to Dr.
Okay,
Chape Soren, sir. Welcome.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nice introduction.
Sir,
About the
sir,
topic.
just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
So good evening, the entire participant and the team who has joined today for Financial Fitness. I will take the pleasure of introducing Chape Soren, sir, for only one line. So he's a fantastic author, fantastic teacher, and a very accurate analyst. Today you are going to see, I have the pleasure of having the presentation slightly earlier than you people. Today you are going to see, in brief, how can you make a core portfolio and satellite portfolio, and how you can do it step by step rebalancing. And this is for a know-nothing investor, no complexities. So all the very best to the entire team. Thank you so much, Dr. Chapesoren. And not to forget, Dr. Chapesoren is the author of the book, Clinical Pediatrics. The link for which will be shared. It's an honor to have you, Dr. Soren, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Satish. One minute. Thank you all and welcoming you all for the second session. So in the first session, last week, we have completed the understanding the stock market. So today we'll be discussing about the individual stocks as well, how to screen based on the fundamentals as well as technical, and how we can build a system to make a winning portfolio. And in addition, what we'll do, we'll learn how to enter a stocks, how to add up the stocks, and when to exit and how to exit. So first and foremost thing is my disclaimer. We are not SEBI registered advisors. So even if we discuss any of the topic of the stocks, one should not consider as investment advice. Do your due diligence before investing. So learning and business. So as Dr. Ajay sir has told, there are many sources. We can learn from the books, we can learn from the YouTube videos, and we can learn from the non-investors. In a lighter note, neither you need to pee on an electric fence to learn its odds, nor you need to lose your hair to learn the investment process. So what we are supposed to do is we have to learn from others' mistake and success to win in the business. Now, why the topic name has been wise investment? So wise investment follows certain principle. The dictionary definition of the wise tells it is aware of, especially so as to know how to behave and act in a right way at a right time. That is wise. So that is needed in investment. Many often the mistake is done not by not knowing the things. The most mistake is done not behaving appropriately at the appropriate time. That is the biggest mistakes has been done. Next, before starting an investment, the investors should learn how to invest and make a system and follow it diligently or religiously. And for the stock investment, it is a risky asset. One should never borrow money to invest in stocks. The Benjamin Franklin says, an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. So before starting an investment, one should learn. And the next principle is the Warren Buffett principle, which is most important. Rule number 1, never lose money. And rule number 2 is never forget the rule number 1. So what is most important is never lose money. So we should not lose money. How we cannot do? If we have good understanding, knowledge about the thing, appropriate behavior, and if we are following a system of investment, then we will not lose money. So even if this is a risk asset, so our winners should be bigger than the losers. Then we will definitely make a profit over the long term.